Coming up on Ann Arbor Tonight, we have the 5 Miles More Jazz Band, everybody. Yes, we have comedian Bill Boronkay in the house. All right. Yes. Yeah, great show for you tonight. Great show, folks. This is great. A man in Michigan, we have some statewide news, was found to be living in a crawl space above a public restroom. Well, and apparently, he had answered an ad on Craigslist for a studio apartment with 8 rooms. Yeah. A couple recently got married on Mount Everest. Well, like most marriages, it was all downhill from there. I see their point. Yeah, a recent survey says that people who read books are most likely nicer. Well, the survey goes on to say that people who read coloring books are most likely high on pot. Yeah. You mean we're not supposed to read them? All right, a few coffee shops in Michigan are doing away with Wi-Fi, and they say they're encouraging people to make conversation while having coffee. And it's having an effect because people are talking more, mostly about directions to the nearest coffee shop with Wi-Fi. There's a new iPhone out that will brew a cup of coffee. Well, which is not that amazing, really. But it was proven that a Galaxy 7 could barbecue a steak. Yes. Thanks so much. We have a wonderful show for you tonight, so please stay tuned. Yes, hello everybody, and welcome back to Ann Arbor Tonight. All right. There we go. Man, I'm telling you, we're doing so great, I got to clap for myself. No, thank you so much. Great show for you today, great show. And it's really interesting. A lot of times, guys, we don't get time to read all the way through a book, or we're so busy with our daily lives that we don't even have time. So I'm a big fan of books on CD. Now, are you guys a big fan of books on CD? Yeah. Me too. And so here's the thing, is that at Ann Arbor Tonight, we're always moving forward and on the cusp of innovation. So we have these brand new books on CDs, so let's take a look. The first one, oh, yes, here's a new health cookbook. It's How to Increase Your IQ by Eating Smart People. I'm sure The Walking Dead would really have a field day with that one. All right. Oh, here's a book written for women competing with men in the workplace, and it's titled How to Succeed in Business Without a Schlong. Yeah, this book is written by a man, so it's not as long as it says it is. Yeah. Now, here's a new edition of George Carlin's 7 Things That You Can't Say on TV. Now, what makes this different is that it's read by Stephen Colbert. Yeah. All right. Now, this is an interesting CD, and of course, I am not necessarily endorsing this one because it's for people that hate cats. But it's written for cat haters, and it's called Turns Out They Don't Have 9 Lives. All right. Now, the latest book, this one, was written by Jared. And you guys remember him? A crazy guy from Subway, weird stuff with kids. Yeah. Well, it's called The Beginner's Guide to Sex with an Ex-Fat Guy. Yeah. Books on tape, how do you like that? Books on CD. Yeah. You don't leave home without them, right? Now, again, great show, and it's always very interesting here in the studio at Ann Arbor Tonight because, as I said last episode, we have our own superhero. So, Borderline Man decided to stop by So let's take a look.
I have so many personality problems. I'm my own support group. I'm the reason the educational system invented the curve. Wonder Woman has the invisible jet. I have the invisible car. I walk. Women tell me all the time that I have potential. You know what else has potential? Ebola. I'm a borderline man.
Borderline man. Borderline man, thank you so much for charging back to our studio, and I'm sure we'll see you really, really soon. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. Please stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ann Arbor Tonight. All right. Yeah. You know what? I am so excited to introduce our next comic guest because, you know, this is very special. This guy was once one of the fastest rising entertainers and sportscasters on television. He's won 5 Emmys. And he's been seen on ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, Sportstime Ohio, among many, many others. Please give a warm Ann Arbor Tonight welcome for Mr. Bill Boronkay.
You guys, man, you are too kind. I tell you, man, I know I'm supposed to start with a joke, but honestly, I just appreciate how great everyone's been, how friendly. Everyone's really easy to talk to. Like, this just happened. I was on my way in, and I stopped to get a cup of coffee, and this guy's looking at me. And I've been in the East Coast a while, so I'm starting to get that jerkish attitude. And I'm like, hey, man, what's your deal? He's like, hey, buddy. Anyone ever tell you with your eyes and your nose, you kind of look like Sylvester Stallone? Rocky? Oh, yeah, I'd say Rocky 1, 13th, 14th round. So it's really good to be here. As you guys heard, I used to be a TV sportscaster, and now I'm here with you. So, you know, career's going great. And the thing is, it was my dream. I'm chasing my dream, and when you do that, you make sacrifices. And so I never married, never had kids. And most people I meet, like my age, and I look around, and you guys are all parents, and it's on your faces. You got that look of shattered dreams. And maybe I'd like kids more if I had a more normal childhood. And child's fine. Suburban middle class, it's not a big deal. It's just my parents are immigrants. They came over from Turkey. And usually when I say that, Americans, we don't know a whole lot about that part of the world, which is fine, because we'll learn more once Trump starts that next war. Should be coming up. But that part of the world, a bunch of different cultures overlap. So kids grow up speaking multiple languages. And as an example, my dad speaks 4 languages, my mom 7, which was incredibly helpful. When in high school, I took 2 years of German and got straight Ds. They cussed me out for weeks. At least I think they did. I don't know. I couldn't understand them. But the thing is, they say once you learn a second language, learning more is easier. And the example is my mom didn't know English when she moved to America, taught herself by watching television, which is amazing till you realize what was on. Yeah, because I come in off the school bus as a kid. I'm like, Mom, I'm home. She comes down the steps, dynamite! But I never married. And this is my advice to young people, having made it to this age of never marrying, is marry young. Seriously. I mean, look, odds are you're going to blow it. Get that first one out of the way. Well, because it's really weird if, you know, like everyone's judgmental. Like I met this woman after a show, and we're just talking, and she's like, wow, made it through your 40s, never married, not even on your first divorce. You are a freak. I'm a loser. No one's run off with my house. And the biggest part is you get older, there's no one left to date. And that's a big thing. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Like date women my age? Women, no. This is on you. I think women in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, you are beautiful and you are sexy. But now, you're all chasing young dudes. You're chasing young dudes and society applauds it. I go young. Do I hear cougar? No, just pedophile. I like you guys. Listen, I wasn't going to share this with you, but I think I'm gonna. I feel like we're developing like a really special bond. All right, when I was in high school, one of my buddies dated a cougar, and we're like, man, that is so cool. And now we're in our 40s, and they're still together. Oh! Not so cool. He's made it work, though. He is. Listen, she just had a birthday. You know what he got her? Her first cell phone. Actually, it's a life alert. Ooh. She only has to make one call. It's weird, man. I was telling you, I was been alone and single all that time. It got really weird. Everyone was so judgmental. So I do something about it. A little drastic. I went out and got myself a girlfriend. I'm rusty, but I think it's going well. Because for our anniversary, she got me a membership to eHarmony. By the way, I just said that at a show last week, and there's this couple up front, and I hear this lady go, "That's a really good idea." I'm dating a lawyer, and whenever I say that, guys are like, "Oh man, you got a sugar mommy." And I'll be honest with you, it's true, she makes a ton of money. But you don't understand the pressure of being a trophy dude. And the weird part is this comes at a time, I'll be honest with you guys, my net worth has been slipping a little bit. Like when I was doing my taxes, I realized the last time I was at this level financially, I was like 12. Well, here's what happened. Like I had the TV job, and it was cool. And then I left it, and I got this other job, and it's fine. But then I started doing this. And honestly, coming out and talking to people, it's just so much fun. All kidding aside, it's so much fun. So I decided to go full-time comedy so I could perform in lots of exotic places. And my last day of work, my boss calls me in the conference room, and the whole staff's in there. And he hands me a gift basket. I'm like, wow. He's like, take a look. I'm like, all right, cool. So I reach in, pull out a company mug, a blanket with a company logo, and a bottle of Jack. He's like, Bill, it's winter. So the blanket and the Jack are to keep you warm, and the mug is for change. You got me a homeless starter kit? And meanwhile, when I say lawyer, my girlfriend's a lawyer, I was like, oh man, LA law, Boston legal. No, there are lawyers for everything. Keep in mind, she's a lawyer in banking compliance. They don't make TV shows about banking compliance law because it's the most boring stuff around. But I can't make fun of it, because for her kind of wisdom, banks pay her tons of money, and they fly her all over the country as a consultant. So I'm a supportive boyfriend, and I learned how to hack into her airline miles, which is how you get to Ann Arbor. And when I had the daytime job, and she'll go out of town for a week at a time, she would have to hire someone to come in and take care of her 2 elderly cats, give them their food and some medicine. Well, all of a sudden, I'm around during the day, and she's like, well, then you can take care of them. Again, supportive boyfriend. I'm like, you can pay me. She did not laugh. She just kind of marched out. So the first Monday comes, I go over there, and I start taking care of things. I look over the counter, I'm like, is that a check? I get a little closer, I'm like, whoa, that's a check. So I don't say another word. So every time I go, there's another check. And pretty soon I realize the money I make as a comedian is roughly half of what I make as a cat lady. Here's the best part. I don't know anything about cats. I kind of been learning on the job. Here's something I learned. Cats, kind of like us, when they get older, they just decide some things just aren't as important anymore. Like the male has decided his lifestyle just doesn't need that whole litter box thing. Now, I haven't actually seen him do it, but I know it's him. So finally I confronted him. He gets all indignant. He's like, hey man, there are 2 cats. Why you assume it's me? Because I'm black? Immediately goes to the fur color. So now just to prove I'm not a racist, I'm hunting for whiskers to send to the lab for DNA samples, which is tough because he's marching across the living room with a sign in his teeth that says black fur matters. Worst part, the other cat has a sign that says all 9 lives matter. I was trying to see where the racial line is here, and I'm like, oh, there isn't one. You guys are fun. It's weird. I'm experiencing things in the relationship that are new to me, but I also experience some things I hear other guys do, and there's one where I hear a lot of guys say their wife or girlfriend will get mad at them for things that they do in her dreams. And I hear about that, but get this, and then you guys spend 3 days making up for some stuff you didn't have a chance to do. I mean, odds are we're gonna, right? But we should get a chance. Well, my girlfriend's dreams, I'm incredibly sweet. So you think, all right, opposite will happen. I'll get a free pass. No, it's even worse. Because now she expects me to be as sweet as I am in her sleep. So I spend my days competing with the imaginary version of myself. It's the screwiest thing. She even named him Dream Bill. Every morning, it's like, for no reason at all, Dream Bill sent me flowers. Now I got to get her candy. Then it's Dream Bill took me on an expensive dinner. I got to get her spa day. Here's her latest. Dream Bill got me a ring. Yeah, so now I just don't let her sleep. And listen, it sounds like I'm making fun of my girlfriend. I'm a fortunate man. I'm kidding. These are jokes. But this is honest. She will always, she always wants me to talk about her. It's the strangest thing ever. And like tonight, she'll be like, how'd it go? And I'm like, went okay. She's like, well, did you talk about me? It's like, yeah. Well, how was it? It's like, it's all right. She's like, well, then you didn't say it right because I'm funny. I'm like, no, the people at Ann Arbor Tonight just hate you. And that was my big finish.
Hey, all right. Bill
Thanks,
Boronkay, everybody. All right. Hey, Bill, come on over here. All right. Great job. Bill Boronkay. All right. Hey, have a seat, man. Hey, Bill.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thanks for coming, man. This is great. Man, this is great. Man, thank you so much for being on Ann Arbor Tonight. My goodness.
Why do you say it like that?
You know.
You said it like you're apologizing. This is Ann Arbor Tonight.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Ann Arbor Tonight. Thank you.
It's the top thing on my resume now.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. That's great. I feel good about it.
I think I threw him off.
A little bit. That's okay. No, that's okay. So tell me this. It's very interesting. So sportscaster, because we're in a huge sports town of Ann Arbor, term stand-up comedian. So why?
Because, as I said earlier, I got fired. So that kind of changes your career path.
You know, a little bit.
But here's the deal. Now, I know whenever anyone says they got fired, you're like, oh, here's some story about it. It was all political, and it was totally political.
Oh, okay.
Listen, here's the deal. When I was starting in television and you wanted to be a sportscaster, I was told that I would have to work my way up, go to a lot of small towns.
Right.
Which I thought a little weird, because I thought I'd just start as a sexy sideline reporter.
Hey, well, don't we all?
That wasn't a joke. But anyway, but I was like loading up my car. I was going to go to these small towns. And my brother, who's a Navy pilot at the time, is like, no, this is great. You're going to see all these places you would have never seen.
Yeah.
So I went to Florence, South Carolina, Bridgeport, West Virginia, Evansville, Indiana. I'm like, wow, this is just like the Navy if the Navy was going to protect all of our country's most depressing cities.
That is.
And I'm not ripping on small towns. Small town living is actually pretty cool.
Is it
I really
really?
like it, but the problem is we didn't make anything.
Oh.
And as an example, I was making $12,000 a year.
Okay.
So they talk about media bias, you know,
Sure.
and I'll admit, totally biased. I was biased to anyone that could just give me a sandwich. But they didn't they didn't have the palatial setup that you do.
Oh, really? Was it like in a barn or something?
One person.
I mean, what?
Close. It actually was. Listen,
Okay.
it had a metal roof. When it stormed, you could hear it in the studio.
Could you really?
But here's the big thing. When I first got there, I wasn't in sports. I was a morning news guy.
Oh, okay.
And just to let you know how impressive the operation was, that right before we went on the air, the janitor would put down his mop and run audio.
Wow. That's dedication.
You couldn't hear a thing, but our microphones were lemon fresh.
Hey, as long as the mics are lemon fresh.
Exactly. Thank
man.
you for appreciating.
Of course.
But then I finally got my first break. I got a job in Kansas City, which was really cool. I was traveling with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Nice.
And they were really good back then. Marcus Allen, Joe Montana, Derek Thomas,
Heck
all those
yeah.
things. Fun times. It's going great. 8 months in, the guy who hired me gets fired. They replaced him with this lady, Lynn, from Cleveland.
Okay.
Well, your contract is a series of one-year contracts, so there's a window each year, and they wanted their own people. She tells me they're not going to renew my contract.
Huh.
Second to last day of work, I get a call from their sister station in Cleveland. And she's like, Bill, you got to take this. It's more money, #1 station in the market, and oh yeah, in 48 hours, you're going to be unemployed.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, is that my counteroffer?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
So I go, and turns out it's a really cool job. I'm the first person to be happy to move to Cleveland.
Is that right? So LeBron wasn't, I guess.
He was, yeah. Well, he was born there. He's grandfather Claus.
Right.
So anyway, I'm working, and it's going great. I'm having fun, and I'm out on the story. I come back, and there's a big staff meeting, last-minute staff meeting, and I notice my general manager's not there. Corporate's there, and they're like, hey, your general manager took a early retirement, and they're shuffling people around. They introduce my new boss. Out comes walking Lynn from Kansas City.
Wow.
Not making it up. I'm like, what am I going to do? So I go into her office after me. She sees me, gives me a big hug, and whispers in my ear, pack your things. So just to let you know,
kidding me?
I am such a good employee. My boss moved 800 miles to fire me again.
Man.
But here's the weird thing, right? A month ago, she tracked me down, and now we're Facebook friends.
Hey, I love
Isn't this sweet? It
No.
turns out, no, she just got a new job. Turns out she's going to start running like a small talk show in Ann Arbor.
Really? Oh, no. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's been
Man.
nice knowing you.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you so much. Man, I mean, what a journey. My gosh. I mean, going to all these different small towns.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
But tell me, I mean, what got you into stand-up comedy and saying, okay, well, instead of doing broadcasting, I'd like to do stand-up comedy?
I figured I hadn't failed at anything recently. No, it's something I always wanted to do. I was always jealous of comedians, and I always had that excuse like, oh, I have credibility, which
Sure.
I've never so I finally tried it and just fell in love with it. It's actually so much fun. I mean, coming here.
Thank you.
Before
yeah,
you put
coming
14
here.
people.
Yeah.
It's a dream come true.
There's more than 14.
No, but it's actually really cool and it's fun, and you actually get the reactions right away. So if something goes well, you know it, and if something doesn't, it's quiet like this.
Yeah. No, thank you. I mean,
All right, you're getting a little defensive.
well, no, yes, because this is Ann Arbor tonight. No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's fine. This is Ann Arbor. No, but tell me, we have a very famous, well-known comedy club here in Ann Arbor, by the way, the Ann Arbor Comedy
Absolutely.
Showcase. Have you performed there at the Comedy Showcase?
I have been there and not been invited back.
Oh, okay.
No, it's actually because I'm coming from a long way. And this actually timed out great because I was passing through. I'm working in the region, so
Sure.
I kind of forced myself on your writers and producers.
Hey, I love it. I mean, we got great writers and producers.
What a suck-up.
I mean, no, they're great, aren't they? Come on, look at those guys. They're ready to go. Yeah.
You know what I love? I love the support from those guys.
Yeah.
I can't.
No.
Is that like Count Chocula? I don't know.
No,
what
that
that
is- yeah, I
No,
mean,
that's
you know.
Frankenberry. I
We'll
don't know
take
what that
anybody
is.
we can get.
Which is how I got here tonight. Thank you.
Hey, well, no, that's, I mean, hey, we got to do what we got to do, right? We're trying, and we're doing a great job.
I'm
And
sorry. Is this turning into a therapy session?
do I sound like a therapist? I mean, Bill, it's just so hard. No,
On the microphone, show us where it touched you.
no.
Oh, I was
I'm
only kidding.
No, I was kidding too. No, that's okay.
This is going to be our last show. All right. Awesome.
No, I mean, Bill, it's just such a pleasure to have you here on the show, man. And do you have any shows like coming up where you're from, or are you?
Yeah, I've actually, it's pretty cool. I'm traveling. I've been fortunate to get a lot of different things around. I'm trying to find how many different states I can lose money in.
Oh.
So you just go to the website. It's billboronkay.com or billboro.com, because
Okay.
it's easier
Cool.
to spell. And yeah, you can find out where I'm going to be. It's like, oh, cool, Bill's coming to Ann Arbor. I think I'll go to Royal Oak. Whatever.
Is that what happens?
No, that never happens.
Yeah, right.
No, the other day I was in Kansas City, and it was really cool because it's like the Improv. It's a big club, and there were like 23 people there. That's when you find out how big a club is.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm finally headlining. I used to work there. It's so cool. Nobody came. But the funny thing is, I had these ladies. It was really a fun time. And these ladies after the show came up. They're like, we watched your videos on YouTube, and we still came. I swear.
Then that's what's gonna happen now. They're gonna watch this. They're never gonna come to the show. No, it's okay. I mean, that's great that they came, man.
And you know what's awesome is your surprised tone. I got done. I had the same thing. Listen, it was going so well this tour. I was in Miami, Oklahoma, and I know, don't mean to brag. And they actually, when I sell my CD, I just sell it for whatever anyone will give me.
Oh,
I
really?
even say, I'm like, guys, don't be a jerk. Give
No
me $2.
set price.
I mean,
You're a
I'll
good
take
guy.
it. But yeah, don't. This guy, I swear, he's in the middle of the show. He goes, he offered me his leftovers.
For the CD?
Yeah. I'm like, you got to be kidding. He's like, no, it's surf and turf.
And so
It was
what-
good.
Wait, no, come on. You took that? Man. No, I mean, well, hey. No, hey, you got to eat, right? I guess. I do the same thing.
I swear, I'm taking you out on the road with me.
No, I mean,
Seriously, if you think you're depressed now,
no, I try to be optimistic,
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
And,
maybe we could get like a Groupon for therapy.
do
and
they
just go in together.
Do they have those? I would love it. I would be, I mean, because,
This is just like we planned, isn't it?
it is just like we planned. I know, Phil. I know. It's just great to have you, man. But tell me too. I mean, really quick. Do you have any? I'm scared to ask this. Do you have any words of wisdom for any up-and-coming comics?
Words of wisdom for up-and-coming comics? Yeah, if I'm just going to be serious for a minute, which is throwing me, and actually one of your writers had said this to me years ago when I was starting, is just do what's funny to you. Don't worry about what's hot. Don't worry what other people are doing. do what's funny to you, and your audience will find you. I'm still waiting for them to find me.
Oh, okay.
But I crack me up.
They can find you. They can find you at Bill Boronkay, right, online. And
BillBoronkay.com, BillBurrow.com on
That's right.
Facebook. I didn't want to do Twitter.
Oh,
it's for
really?
the young ones. I didn't, but my manager was all like, "You got to get on Twitter because
Yeah.
a lot of clubs book you based on how many followers you have."
Is that right?
Yeah, I find it a little weird.
Yeah.
I do because I don't have a manager.
Oh. Okay. No, so I mean, but Twitter. I mean, really quick. I find Twitter the weirdest thing because what is what? How many characters you gotta have? 160 or something?
140.
Like that? 140. Okay, but it's like shorthand. You know, you're like barely trying to get a response in there. You know, and yet everyone. Oh, I almost knocked over the nothing in there. By the way.
A fake cup, seriously.
No.
Is there anything more irritating than watching a show where they reach for the cup and they take a drink and you can just tell by the way they're doing it, nothing's in it?
Yeah, just like
it's like
this.
Hallmark
Just
movies.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be on Hallmark.
Oh, I could.
You could be the cowboy that steals the girl from the lawyer who doesn't pay enough attention to her. Not that they have the same plot for every movie, but
I'd do it. Would you co-star with me? Can we do that?
I'm gonna be like, you want me to be the dad that's all mad because
Yes.
she's leaving the
Yes.
successful guy for you?
Yes.
All right, I can like trash you to her. That's
Okay.
fine.
Cool. No, yeah.
I think we've accomplished a lot.
I think so too. No, but I mean, thank you so much, and thank you, Bill, and I wish you more success in the future.
No, thanks for having me. This is tons of fun.
Yeah, definitely visit BillBurrow.com. Check out his wonderful CD as well, and his wonderful YouTube videos. Thank you so much, and we hope to have you
Thanks
back.
so much, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, folks, don't go away. Coming up, the 5 Miles More Jazz Band.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, folks. Yeah, thank you so much. All right. Yeah. Man, welcome back to Ann Arbor tonight, man. Bill Boronkay, what a funny guy. Yeah, we are so excited. Please give a warm Ann Arbor Tonight welcome for the 5 Miles More Jazz Band.
1, 2, 3.
you miss the quickest way to home? Hurry, get on now, it's coming. Listen to those rails a thrumming. All aboard, get on the A train to go to Sugar Hill way up in Harlem. Sugar Hill way up in Harlem. If you miss the A train, you'll find you miss the quickest way to Harlem. Hurry, get on now, it's coming. Listen to those rails a thrumming. All aboard, get on the A train. Sugar Hill way up in Harlem. Ba, 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 da, da, da.
All right, 5 miles. Well, come on, guys, come on. Hey, Kent. Hey, man.
Good to see you, Zach.
Hey, good to see you. Wonderful
Great
job.
to be here, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Wonderful
Yeah.
job. Have a seat, guys. Thank you
Yeah,
so
we love
much.
those tunes.
Yeah. Man, I mean, my goodness. I mean, I can see now the influences: Miles Davis, Coltrane, Lewis Smith, Herbie Hancock, Dave Brubeck, one of my favorites, to name a few.
Well, you
Great
know where
job.
the miles came from then.
Where's that?
Miles Davis.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, 5 miles more.
There, I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
And
No,
the
it's-
five.
5 miles.
5.
There we go.
We got 5 here. Got 5 here. I was born in 1955.
Oh, wow.
The first people that were in my band, there was 5 of us.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So it was great, yeah.
No, that's awesome, and
Yeah.
I should give you a high five for all of that. No,
Ooh.
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So no, this is really interesting though. So from Ann Arbor, right? From the city.
We are, yeah.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
from Ann Arbor, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. We love that. So talk a little bit about how the group evolved. Right? You guys started as a small group of friends, just getting together, doing what local church.
We were together. We'd known each other from praise band stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Goes way back.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. No. I don't know. No. A lot of us were praise band people.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we got together in the parking lot on Thursday nights over at Zion.
Cool, man.
Yeah. And we just did this jazz prayer thing.
Wow.
Where we were pretty young with jazz at the time.
Sure.
Yeah, so, didn't know chords or anything.
Really?
No.
No, but I mean, so why jazz? Why jazz for you, Kent?
Well, jazz has always been big for me. That's how come I don't know all the names of these rock and rollers these days.
Okay.
Because I was listening to jazz instead.
There we go.
WJZZ.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a Jay-Z that's very popular, but not the one you're speaking.
Well, not that. There was WJZZ out of Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Detroit.
Carlin Harlan.
Oh, there we go.
Carmen Harlan.
Really? She was on
She was a
there?
DJ that.
Wow.
Yep, she was. Yeah.
That's great. Well, because you know, Detroit and Michigan does have a very rich jazz history and a very rich music history, and so I think it's wonderful, Kent, that you guys can bring that to the city of Ann Arbor.
Yeah, well, we've been trying to break into the Detroit scene, and we're having quite a lot.
Oh.
We're having quite a problem with that.
Oh, is that well? I am optimistic in all of you. I think you guys will do just fine. So really quick too. I mean, because you guys go around all over the place and do a lot of gigs all over. But do you guys? Can you talk about one memory that you guys have as a band, or one funny moment when you guys sort of were on the road or on tour and something funny happened? Can you talk about that?
Well, you know, we do Liberty Plaza.
Nice.
And we do it on Friday nights sometimes.
Okay.
And every Friday night they have pizza night down at Liberty Plaza.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so
Yeah, I like
there's
pizza.
and they feed pizza to anybody who wants it.
Really?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, yeah. If you want pizza, you can go down there on Friday night. And but the homeless show up.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes, you know, they're a little bit. Yeah, they've had maybe a little bit too much to drink.
Oh,
And so there was one lady that was there, and she was doing the coolest dancing that I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, is that right?
You remember that, guys? You remember that night? Yeah, yeah, that was cool. Yeah. So that's one funny thing.
No, that's
But maybe that's not too funny.
no, it is funny.
It's funny.
No.
It was
I
really
mean, no.
funny.
I mean, it is funny. I mean, it's just so. I mean, all of you guys, you have such a presence when you're on stage, and you can tell that there's such a chemistry with you guys. You know, when you perform, and that you really enjoy it. And I'd be interested to know too. Your vocalist, she has such a great voice. I mean, how did you get involved with these characters?
This is a good story.
Is it?
It was actually right after I'd graduated from undergrad, and I was admittedly a little bored, and I saw an ad online asking for a jazz singer, and I'd never sang any jazz before.
Really?
No, I'd only ever done like musical theater stuff and, you know, stuff like that. So I sent them an email, and they were like, okay, well, here's some tunes. We're going to be playing at Liberty Plaza on Friday. Why don't you just come out and sing with us?
Heck
So
yeah.
I just kind of showed up for like a live show audition. And a few hours later, they're like, yeah, you know what? You're really good. Why don't you be a singer? We're going up to the UP in like a few weeks for a show. So why don't you just come with us? So I was with them for maybe a few weeks and ended
Wow.
up going up north, and super lucky I didn't get murdered. But so
Murdered
and
in the
that
U-
was six years ago in July.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. Time flies when you're.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the crowd we were playing for.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
so,
well? So okay. So who are you playing for in the UP?
I
It was
don't
a wellness.
remember.
It was a wellness concert.
A
It
wellness.
was a wellness concert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you had people that gotten beat up
Oh.
all their life. You got people that were using drugs all their life. You got people who are orphans.
Right.
And they asked us to come up because the people up in the UP had come down to Zion,
Sure.
and they heard the praise band playing some songs.
Okay.
And they thought that we could come up and play jazz renditions of praise songs.
Sure. Sure.
And so we did.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Nobody
I mean-
showed up.
Oh well. Hey, but
No, there was 14 people there.
Okay.
There was.
Well, so that's 14. Hey, it's better than no one.
Yeah, it was great. Hey, we're used to playing for nobody.
Oh.
But we're used to playing for other people, too.
Okay. No, I mean, really though, you guys are one of the best kept secret, and one of your other horn players too. I mean, just you grew up here in Ann Arbor, and you all the way up. Went to middle school and high school in Ann Arbor.
It was junior high back then.
Oh, junior high. That's right. That's right. Junior high. Excuse
yeah,
me.
yeah. It's
Went
middle
to
school
went
now.
to junior high school in Ann Arbor. So, in your mind, can you talk about why Ann Arbor is a great place for jazz?
I'm Bob Falgren, the saxophonist. I went to Dickin, and we were talking earlier.
Yeah.
We both went to Slauson
That's right.
and Pioneer, and we
That's
had
right.
Dan Long at Slauson.
That's
He was
right.
excellent.
Yep.
Kenny had the late Lewis Smith over at Forsyth,
Nice.
and he passed on here recently, but he was a big influence on you.
He was.
And my whole life has been just, I've enjoyed playing. I got away from it for a number of years. I was too busy. I think I let alcohol get interfered with my busy musical career for a while, and priorities kind of shifted
Sure, can you?
from where they were supposed to be.
Sure.
And anyway, we're back in the groove. I contacted Kenny about a year ago, and he wasn't really looking for anybody at the time. But I was playing with a rockabilly band down in Ohio,
Oh, okay.
and we're getting ready to go out on stage, and the phone rang. It was Kenny. He said, I'd like to have you come join us. So this has been a great fit for me.
That's
A
awesome.
great group of people, and it's really very difficult to find the right people to be with.
Yeah.
But these are the guys for me, so I'm having a great time with them.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Wonderful. Well, and I'm curious to know too from you guys. I mean, what keeps you guys going? You know, from gig to gig.
This guy.
Yeah.
This guy. It's just what you said earlier, the chemistry.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody just feels nice together. And what I love about the group is taking solos. Everybody's behind everybody. It's like, oh, that's working. That's really well. I do want to tell you a story, though, about the early
Yeah.
days. This guy here, Mark and Joe and I have been playing together at different church. We got to know Kent. And one day he comes to me and says, hey, I'm going to start a jazz band. And I'm like, great. You know, I do rock and folk, so have fun. Ken bought the charts to Kinda Blue, iconic jazz album. So we're walking in with very, very little experience. He's got a trumpet player, a sax player, piano, drums, and bass. And I walk in with a guitar. So Kent, there's no guitar chart in the thing anywhere. And he says, play along, just play along.
Wow.
And we've evolved, let's put it that way. The first couple of times were not fun.
No, but that's what's great about music, right? Is that it's always evolving. You know, you build on different stanzas, you build on, you know, past wonderful music that's been done, and you make it your own, right?
And that's the beauty of it, too. That album really was, even though it's difficult to live up to the reputation, it's a great entry point, because you just feel every single one of those songs. And the guys that were playing at the time, it's like this group, you know, they just lay down such a solid bed that you can just walk into it and play, and it works.
That's
So
awesome.
it's cool.
No, that's great. And I mean, too, for you, sir, I mean, talk about, you know, your experience with the band. You know, what do you enjoy about playing with them, and you know, why do you like being with the group?
Well, I'm Joe Spaley, the drummer.
All right.
Yeah, I just enjoy being able to get out there and play a little bit. Great group of people here to work with and to play with, and we get to do a lot of fun shows and stuff. I'm not originally a jazz drummer, so this is
Oh, is that right?
It was a new thing for me,
Wow.
like everybody else, and fell right into it and having a lot of fun with it, though. Having a lot of
Awesome.
fun.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And for the last two over here, and then we'll come back and circle to you two as well. But no, because it's important. It's important. You know, for the young musicians, you know, University of Michigan has a great music school, right? And wonderful students coming up. You know, for those young musicians that love jazz or just love playing in a band, you know, what are some words of wisdom that you guys have for them?
Well, actually, I went to the University of Michigan Music School.
There we go.
Many years ago, so many I can't quite remember. I started out as a classical musician, actually got my degree in music theory, but I would say I gravitated to jazz, and I love it. And I would say, if it's words of wisdom or not, do what you really love. And jazz is really, improvised jazz is composing on the fly. A composer of classical music might do draft after draft after draft until they get the final notes just right. With jazz, you're making it up as you go along, and that's the beauty of it, and that's the fun of it.
Definitely. That's awesome. How about yourself?
Yeah, well, my name is Mark Boronkay, and I've always loved jazz. When I was in high school, Weather Report and the Jazz Crusaders and those bands were really my idols, and I started playing guitar, one of the few kids that wanted to learn how to be a jazz guitarist. And so I played quite a bit, and then fell out of it, you know, when I was a young professional and whatnot.
Sure.
And then Mike and I connected in the 90s and started to play in praise bands together and do things like that. Joe was part of that after a while. And so it was great to get back into music and to have something like this where we can participate, we can share our music with people. And I was actually a guitarist, and then 5 Miles More was looking for a bass player. And so it was probably several years ago now. I went out and started to play bass, and I love it because it's a whole different way of thinking about music.
Totally.
You know, you think a guitar and a bass is tuned relatively the same, it's relatively the same instrument, and it's not.
Yeah.
And so it's been a real growing experience for me. And what I enjoy about being in the band is we play for all sorts of different people. We look at music as a ministry.
Yeah.
You know, not a means to an end.
Right.
And so, you know, Kent was talking about, you know, playing for homeless functions and fundraisers and those types of things. Playing for different church events, playing for retirement communities and whatnot that, you know, want entertainment and that enjoy our music. And so it's really been a gift for me. And, you know, we like each other. And we look forward to getting together in practices. And, you know, I've been in bands where you argue all the time.
Oh, wow.
And people are slamming things and you screwed up and we don't like that. And there's none of that.
Yeah.
And so it's a real joy to be here and to be a part of this group.
Wonderful. All right, last question for both of you. Well, for both of you, and you guys can answer it individually, but if you want. But for those that want to, you know, see 5 Miles More, to know about you guys, and even, you know, if they can listen to some of your tracks, where can they go?
We do have a website, 5milesmore.com, pretty self-explanatory, and there's links to some of our other sites. We try and keep it up to date with tracks. You can listen to music there. We did do recording for a CD.
Nice.
That's eventually will be done sometime. But other than that, we just kind of like to stay in the area. Like we said, we always just hang out in Liberty Plaza. We try and play more local things and just try and, you know, be part of the Ann Arbor community of musicians and just try and engage in that more.
No, I love it. And Ken, I want to say that, you know, from all of us at Ann Arbor tonight, thank you so much for 5 Miles More coming on. You guys were wonderful, and we hope to have you back. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I want to thank our wonderful, wonderful, amazing comedian, Bill Boronkay, everybody. Thank you so much. Yes. And I want to thank our wonderful writers, Mark Sweetman and Chili Chalice. I want to thank Karina, Lana, Alicia, and Leo for putting up with me tonight. I'd like to thank Zingerman's Corporation of Businesses for the wonderful food, the City of Ann Arbor, and CTN. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time on Ann Arbor Tonight.